Psalms 81, 88, 92, and 93. We mentioned a couple times ago that Israel's story as a nation has those ups and downs. We also now, and this goes back to Job as well, what we read in his book, we have as individuals in the biblical storyline asking the question, and I've written out a lot of the texts in the Psalms where this is being asked, where are you? Why do you hide your face from me, as it were, when you could be so more obvious to my physical senses? We think of David coming off the battlefield with Goliath, where he challenged him based on who is in control of this world, right? Which Elohim controls the world, and he knew that Yahweh did. And David kills Goliath. He goes off, though, into the wilderness. And the next thing we hear him say is, where are you? How come I don't sense you more? Well, a couple of things that I think should be applied to our biblical story in light of this kind of an individual question. Number one would be the apparent purposefulness of God in being quiet. I think this is the Isaiah 55, it's 55, 8 and 9, where he says, my ways are not your ways, my ideas or thoughts are not your thoughts. Could it be that one of the very base elements of the difference between Yahweh and his created humanity, where we are, is that we'll just never quite understand why his hiddenness or quietness is so important to his storyline otherwise. Also, I think we should acknowledge how common, again, this feeling comes to those who are trying to follow Yahweh. And again, that common feeling of, again, why God could be more obvious to my senses, but he's not. And as I've probably mentioned in dealing with atheists over the years, they use this as the basic reason to be an atheist. And I have come back in my discussions with them to say, no, this is my basic reason to adjust my view of God and to understand that he's not the kind of Santa Claus or grandfather that a lot of people imagine him to be. Thirdly, we are now, again, able to combine ideas like that word aman that we've used before, that we translate as believe or trust or loyalty. This is a quote from an Old Testament scholar by the name of Walter Eichrodt. Aman very happily strikes the exact note of an adventurous attitude toward God. It is a question of affirming that the hiddenness of God is active, even when one cannot see the whole course of this activity or know what the goal may be. So, to me, this is what it means to even be a Christian today. Notice how this story will not change when we move into the New Testament and even into the life of the early church. Jesus will say, blessed are those who are poor in spirit. I think that talks of this kind of a feeling. Paul will say we are saved by hope. Again, so even when Jesus appears on the scene, even when we have the story at a high point, when the Messiah appears, the individual that's living through this story will still ask God, where are you? So as I've said before, these lines that we often use, or the lines of those who are in the story or on the stage, may be different from the lines of you and I who come on the stage at a later point. I think one of the most consistent lines that everyone who is part of the biblical story will have will be, "Oh God, where are you?"